Hey, so I just want to give you guys an update on my investment journey. Today is May 22nd, 2024, and as of today, I have flipped one property. It was in 122 Elm Drive in Bryan, Ohio, 43506. We purchased it for $82,950. This was a bank-owned property on Zone, and we ended up selling it for 146,000, and the net proceeds came out to be just a little bit under 20,000. I do have two partners in it, so each of us got about 6,900, and it took about 3 weeks to get it rehabbed, and we had a PML, and we actually asked her for 120-day loan, interest only, annualized. So we actually closed in 74 days, and we had the interest rate was based on like 60, 90, and 120 days closing. So it ended up that we paid her for 90 days. And so anyway, she made like $4,500 for a 72-day hold. And so yeah, I guess for some people, they're like, oh my God, you bought the house for 83, we sold it for 146. I had a great the listing agent from the buy was also the listing agent on the sell, and he was really good. I mean, we listed on April 4th. We were in contract by April the 8th, and we closed escrow on April 26th. We luckily had a cash buyer, and so we didn't do home inspection on the purchase. So when the buyer did the home inspection, they asked for $5,000 credit because the AC was bad and something like that. And we're like, hey, that's fine. I'm not even going to argue with it. So we took it. So that was a great deal. Then the property that I bought in Warren, Michigan, closed escrow on that in October of 2023, and we didn't get closed. The repairs didn't get done until almost February, and it just ended up the city of Warren made you do you get a certificate of occupancy because the home was vacant for a while. But anyways, they went down everything on that list, and it just took so long. So even though that deal I bought for 60 grand, our rehab ended up being 40,000. We tried to sell it for 149. We were in escrow, and then the buyer backed out. And then after doing all the numbers, paying, it just wasn't making any money. Please excuse my dog. She's just like hacking in the background here. So now we're deciding to refinance that and keep it as a rental for maybe a year or two, just so we can make some money, because I'm not into buying properties and selling it and not making a profit. So we did, like I said, we bought for 60, but we had 40. I also have a PML on this, and so there was just no money. We're turning around and doing a Section 8, which would be about $1,300. There's that. And then I have another property that was purchased in Akron, Ohio. Address is 609 Morley Drive, Akron, Ohio, 44320. Purchased this one for $120,000. I closed it. Let me see. I think 2.5 weeks. It just took also long to close because there was a lien on the property by HUD. HUD loaned the previous owner $12,000, and this was during COVID time because it was in 2021, and the redemption period wasn't going to be over until September of 2024. So we're about ready to fund this deal, and then my hard money, I'm not sure if he was my hard money lender or if he was just a lender, they would not do it. We were back and forth for literally 3 weeks on this property, and finally they would not fund. And then I ran out and found another private money lender. This time I just said, hey, $120,000. I'm going to offer a flat fee of $8,500 for another 20 days. And my partner is also a realtor out there, and I bought this property because it looked clean. There was nothing major damage in the house. I even bought it with appliances. Okay, so this was a plus. And he said it would cost no more than $5,000 to make the repairs. I just listed it today, so literally less than 2 weeks. And because he also worked well with the GC, he's a property management, so he has a relationship with another GC, and he also did some work himself. The split is 60-40, so he is my partner, and he's going to list the property. So basically, at the time, this property, I got an appraisal on it, so we were buying it for $120. It appraised for $178. Okay, so I already bought it with equity in it without much repairs. So we're listing it today at $172.5. My partner said that homes are going really, really fast over there. So my only problem is I cannot sell this to an FHA buyer because there's a 90-day flip rule. But I think VA, they are able to do it, and so that's where I'm at with that one. And then so that's property number 3. Okay, so then property number 4 is in Evansville, Indiana. My other partner there, who's also in sub 2, she was mentioning, like, she reached out to me again from a video that I had, I believe another video on how to buy auction properties. And then she was the traveling nurse. And then she said she's working in Evansville, Indiana as a traveling nurse currently. So you know what? I hopped on Zoom and I found an immediate property that was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,000 square feet for sale. And this time there was a button that was like, buy it now for $65,000. And I think when I looked it up, it was supposed to be $67,000, which was what the bank took it back for. Okay, so we go out there, buy it. Again, inside interior, they had carpet, but the carpet got ripped out by the bank, and there was still a nice kitchen. Everything was still decent, needed new flooring and paint. I connected with another sub 2 student out there who was my boots on the ground. He went out. I happened to have the code. He got in. He could view the property inside, took videos for me. So I pulled the trigger. And so we bought this property for $65,581. I just have a memory for numbers and stuff if I could see it. And so again, I go to my same hard money lender. They did an appraisal. The property came back at $130,000. I'm just like, sweet. So I got it as a hard money loan. We're rehabbing it right now. So we closed that I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Okay, I don't have the dates for that. The contractor came out, was also a referral from the sub 2 student, and he gave me I think we're going to be about $20,000 on this property too. But we're going to keep this as a midterm rental because my partner, who's a traveling nurse, said she wanted to help other traveling nurses. People, or they're not getting paid as much money as they used to. So, but she did say that the rooms can rent for either $800 to $1,000, okay? And she was renting a hotel across the street from the hospital for $1,600 a month. So I said, hey, you could rent one of our rooms and still have a discount, but then we would also be able to make money. So after it's rehab, I have a $30,000 draw that I can use, but the way these draws work with the hard money lender is that you have to pay for it first, then you submit your documentation, and then you get your money back, okay? But you know what? Now I actually had money from the liquidation I did for my credit card. So I was able to upfront him the $15,000, and I'm not going to draw on this because the draw would be at 10.99% interest rate. We plan to refinance this with a DSCR loan, and since my property appraised at $130,000, cash out refis on a DSCR, you can only get 75%. So 75% of that is $97,500, and then minus I did have to put 20% down, so that was like about $15,000. So right now the loan amount from the hard money is like 50 something thousand dollars. So we're going to get all our money back. And I also have enough room to buy furniture. And so what I also did was, I don't know anything about buying furniture, doing midterm rentals. So found another sub-2 student through one of the Facebook groups for midterm rentals who is out in Evansville. And so interviewed with him. I'm going to let him manage it, have my traveling nurse partner learn some stuff and how to, because we're all learning. And I think it's just worth it to pay somebody else to do this. And then, so anyways, that's kind of where I'm at with that. And then the city that the traveling nurse said is the hot and coming is called Newburgh, Indiana. She says she's been looking over there. For some reason, there's a lot of doctors and medical professionals trying to move out there. And she couldn't find anything. And I actually had 2 properties on Zome that were up for sale, but they had a 30-day first look period, which means that if you're going to buy it, you have to live in there or you have to be some kind of nonprofit. So I could not bid. They make you sign an affidavit to say that you're going to live there. So I didn't want to risk it. And I was waiting for the first look period to be over, and somebody bought it. So there's 2 properties. So one was going for $180, and it had 2 floors and 2 kitchens. It would have been great for a midterm rental again. And it was going for ARV $275, but someone bought it. It ended up closing at $210, and it needed a complete rehab because it was just outdated. So I didn't get that one. And then another one in Newburgh came out, but it was owner occupied, and it was still in the first look period. And then someone else bid for it again with before I can get my hands on it. So I'm like, that city is so hot. Well, I'm working with a realtor out there, and he sends me auto emails of properties that came up, and then 1 fourplex came up, 4 units, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 2 units downstairs, 2 units upstairs, 840 square feet. This is perfect. And my partner, she's like, oh my God, Newburgh is like 100 times better than Evansville. So she said it's just hot, but the neighborhood was great. It was a bunch of other fourplexes, but it's just in a clean, nice and safe neighborhood. Okay, so we jumped on that. I just offered, I think the listing was $250, offered $245. Seller accepted it. I saw it on Friday, made an offer on Friday, got our offer accepted on Monday. Okay, 3 units are occupied, under rent. The owner has owned this at least 10 years. I can't recall, maybe 2013. No, I don't know, at least 10 years. And he was renting these units for $450 and $520, and he wanted his tenants to stay. But I'm like, okay, again, my idea. $800 to $1,000 per unit. Needs to be some rehab. It needs some updating, especially if I want $1,000 rent. Need to do flooring and stuff like that. So this one is just going to be outright DSCR loan unless the appraisal comes back higher. There hasn't been a home sold since a year ago, and it came back at $310, but that was like a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. 4 units. So ours is 1 bedroom, 1 bath. So I don't know how this appraiser is going to do it, but no homes are for sale in this neighborhood. And anytime that they come up, they get snatched. So that's where I am right now. It's exciting because, I want to share with you that what I found out through this DSCR lending. And it's just funny. I'm sharing this because I don't hear anybody talking about it, I got my $100,000 credit card that I liquidated, so now I'm using it to buy these properties. I keep some money there, and I've been making payments on it. My score did drop, so I was like at a 740, and I guess now I'm at 670 or something, but now I'm proceeding to do business credit. Guess what? I have a partner or spouse, and his credit was or is 780, so we're going to use his. And I'm using his credit score because he is my partner in my holding company. And the DSCR, it's different than traditional financing because, so there's 3 of us right now. So we're forming an LLC in the state. So I formed one in Michigan, and I'm forming one in Indiana. My partner and I plan to buy more than one in Indiana, you can use a series LLC, but in Michigan, you can't. So we're forming a new LLC, and our two members are both of our holding companies, okay? So I went back to my DSCR lender and I said, hey, I bought my properties not improperly, I guess is the word, because I forgot I used my holding company to buy the properties. I'm not supposed to do that. And just so you know, I made an appointment with a tax attorney, business strategist, and he went over my, my business, and that was through KKOS law firm, which is Matt Kohler and Mark Kohler and Matt Sorensen. Okay, and Matt Sorensen is also an attorney for PACE. Okay, so watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyways, I went and did tax planning, tax strategy, getting my, here, I'm going to show this right now. This is Mark Kohler's trifecta. Okay, he coined this. So on the left side is my active income, and then on my right side is my passive income, and how to hold it, how to hold it and all that. And then eventually your revocable living trust owns your my S Corp. It owns my holding company on my Wyoming side. So that's another topic for another day. So on the DSCR loan, so now my husband did not like that we were on the hook for being the personal guarantor on these properties. So I asked my DSCR lender if my partners can be on it. And originally I was thinking that because they have lower credit scores, we don't want to use them because we wouldn't get a good interest rate, okay? And all these years, that was my thought, and it's still true because traditional financing, they go off the lower credit score. And my husband's a lender, so yeah, we know this. But guess what? In these DSCR loans, they still use the highest credit score, and they could still be on the loan. And then today I find out it's a soft pull on your credit because the LLC is the one who is on title, right? So all members of your LLC can still be a personal guarantor, but they use the highest credit score to get the interest rate. Okay, so this is huge because now we are all 50-50 in. My partners are on the title, the LLC owns the property, and the two members are the two holding companies that own it, right? So that's what we're going to do right now. And then we can open proper bank accounts. But I just wanted to say this is so huge that nobody has shared this. I did not know that, okay? So you can still go in with a partner and they'll use your highest score. So I guess that's where I'm at right now. And if you still want to meet with me, now I think I'm going to look for private money partners because I think they want, I'm doing really well with my flips, and I think I want to, you have to create another LLC just to do your flips because otherwise the IRS will think you're a dealer and tax you differently, okay? So it'll be on the left side so that the left side will be my fix and flip, and it will be taxed at ordinary income. Okay, so I have an S Corp that I funnel my commissions through as a realtor. So that's on the left side as well. My Wyoming holding company is on the right side, and then my rental LLCs are in there. And guess what? I also learned how to form LLCs. Many of these companies that form the LLCs for you, it's just a template, okay? And the operating agreement that they have is the same for most of the states. So I will use an example. I got my hands on, they gave me a Word doc, okay? And it was my Wyoming LLC. So that same company, I'll use the name, fine. I'm just going to say PCS. I got my hands on my another sub-2 student operating agreement in Nevada. Well, you know what? It was the same operating agreement. They just changed the name of the state. So I went and I filed in Michigan. I filed in Indiana. Oh my God, it's so easy. They literally issue you something in one day. I was going to dissolve my California corporation because I didn't want to pay $800 franchise tax fee. So, but because I'm doing business credit, I didn't want to lose. It's 10 years old, and when you do business credit, or even when you just want to open bank accounts, they want 2 years seasoning. So I have a 10-year. So then what I did was I did a Nevada domestication. So technically it's a domestication wherever you are, whatever state you opened it in or you formed the organization in, you can move it over to another state. Okay, and it's called domestication. So I was going to pay someone to do it. And then I ended up just watching a YouTube, because you can find anything on YouTube, research it. I was watching some videos from a lady, and she's an attorney. Followed her step by step. I did find another company who was going to charge me $300 to do it, and I just did it myself. And luckily, the people at the Nevada State, at the Secretary of State, I didn't do it right, because my head was everywhere, and then I've even did the payment. I transposed my credit card number, so she emailed me and she was like, hey, I need your credit card got declined, so please contact me, and then I swear, and then I went through, and then so I started as an LLC, even though I had a corporation. I was going to transfer it over as an LLC. Then I changed my mind, and then the tax strategist I met said, hey, you should just go ahead and keep it as a S corp. So I changed one document and made it an S corp, and then I forgot to do the other 3. So then this lady kept going back, hey, you have to fix this, you have to fix this. So I fixed it like 3 times finally, and then she goes, okay, I think you're good. I'm going to submit it right now, and you'll know later today if it was accepted or rejected. So that was like Friday at 3 in the afternoon. 5 o'clock, I get an email saying, sorry, your Nevada domestication was rejected. I'm like, shoot. And then, but it told me what I did wrong. And then I realized I didn't pick the right entity. So it was supposed to be a domestic corporation. So I fixed that, sent it back to her. And then I said, hey, can you resubmit this? And then and they don't let you email your credit card information. So she said, you have to send a fax. I don't have a fax, and I didn't have e-fax. So she ended up calling me again on Monday to get my credit card number again. So they put it through, and she submitted it, and guess what? It got approved for Nevada. So I got everything in Nevada, so now I got to go back to California and do conversion. And of course, they don't accept doing online e-file, so I had to go to the post office, mail it, get a tracking. So now I got to go look again, because it takes 8 days from that date, and that's how I have to finalize to bring. And now, since I live in Nevada, I will have a Nevada corporation. So my corporation now will also flow into the revocable living trust. But anyways, I'm rambling. So guys, it actually doesn't, and then now I'm going to stay in these states because I don't want to, keep paying the filing fees, and also every state you're in, you have to do a state tax return. And so the Series LLC in Indiana, you don't have to file with the state at all. You have one parent company, that's Series LLC, and then you can, each time you buy another property, put it under the other little LLCs or Series LLCs, or what they call cells, okay? And so I do a ton of research. I hate to say it, YouTube University is like the best compared to schools. If you guys are interested, reach out to me, because I have like so many playlists that after I watch the video and I think they're well done, well taught, or well whatever written, I save it into this playlist that I have, and then I can make my playlist public. And then I can share with you that playlist, and then you can go and look at it. So I have like LLC setups, asset protection, midterm rentals, long-term rentals. So if you guys have this, you can also share all this with your friends, your family. I have like 160 different playlists, and I'm one of those people. When I get into something, I search, and anyways. But I want to help you, and if you guys want to partner with me, I'm going to go buy more properties to flip. So maybe we can be partners, but the problem is I have to partner with other people in the states that I'm at. But I think what I'm going to do is, since I've got down the realtors, the contractors, I can now move forward and have a private money partner that I can split the profits with, or we can also go long term. But for me, I will always do the DSCR lender afterwards because it's a 30-year fixed. And just so you know, so because my husband had a good credit score, and now I've built I guess a relationship, and I've showed them that I have experience, because they know I'm buying properties at 60 cents on the dollar. So they know that, the appraisal says it all. So our DSCR, even though it's an investment loan with I'm getting at 8% interest rate. Okay, and he told me he's not locking it yet because rates just went down like last week. All right, so an investment loan at 8%, 30-year fixed, this is not bad at all. So I have that lender for you. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me. Sorry, this was a little bit longer, but I swear, if you can hear me, I'm so excited. I'm getting so busy. There's so many properties out there to buy. And here's another thing I just found out with someone else. We can buy some mobile homes as well, because that is a very low entry fee, and I think we can flip day and night. Traditional financing it has to be on land, okay? But there's mobile homes on these auction platforms as well. But when I went in there looking at it, I was like, hey man, it's even more money than the regular home. So I don't know, I may just go on the market to find owner selling, because there's some in like those lease lots that people are selling it for 10 grand. I mean, just really, really cheap. And if you can flip it for 40 or 50,000, that's another way to make money. And because there's so little affordable housing, people can come up with $30,000 to $40,000. And if not, I already checked some states, we can do the Section 8. So if you're buying a house for 30, 40 grand and you can rent it out for $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 a month, that is pure cash flow. Okay, so thought I'd share that. All right, well, I will talk to you later.